I'm just here having a chat with Alison Larard about the Next Generation Mentoring Program that DAF have been running. Alison, do you want to tell us a bit about how the program started or how it came about?
Sure, Lindsay. We've been going for about 15 months with our Next Gen work. Prior to that, we had around about 3 years of, I guess, fairly intensive work with who you would say are typically the older generation in many of the businesses in the Northern Gulf region. So in that period we probably worked with about 40, it would have been, all up, producers through the Northern Gulf, and we concentrated on the managers and owners of those businesses, and we tried to bring to them a program that involved what we would call a whole of business approach. So we brought production related knowledge to the table at the same time as business related knowledge and skills, to try and work with those people and try and lift the bar, I guess, on what we feel is a little lacking through some of these businesses, which is mainly in the world of financial literacy. We're also very conscious of grazing land management issues through this production system, so we were concentrating on that also. And then we're also very focused on the people in these businesses. So we want to try and get this balance right as we approach issues for people. So we focused on that program for about 3 years. That was called Beef Sense, and then we brought through what we're now calling Beef Sense Next Gen, and to try and lift the bar on the skill base for the next generation in these same businesses.
Okay. And how would you like to see that menteeship program developing in the next year or 2 years or even 5 years down the track?
I guess the fact is when we keep on picking on the next limiting factor, we keep finding the next limiting factor. And I guess some of the mentees have said to us, look, firstly, I wish this had been around some period of time ago, so they can see the need and they can see how it's helped address some of their issues. I keep coming back to issues around business planning and succession planning because that's probably my pet project area and the things that I focus on. And I think it's really vital as these businesses grow, and they do. Over time, capital gain continues to happen in big cattle businesses, so they end up very big businesses, but often the returns are quite tight. So it takes a special set of skills to know how to manage these businesses as well. So we're moving now from being producers to being business managers. So it's really vital to keep lifting the bar so that that's done well. And so I can sort of see that there's an ongoing need to keep lifting the bar, moving them on, getting them involved in leadership issues, and away you go.
Alison, you're going to interview a couple of the mentees that you've been working with.
Yes, Lindsay, I have 3 mentees with me today, and we'd just like to have a bit of a chat to them about the Next Gen program. And tell us, hopefully they'll be able to tell us a little bit about what they've learned and where they would like to see things going in the future.
Okay, great. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
My name's Shannon Zoll, and we're currently located at Mounts Price Station. We have a Downs property between Hewenden and Muddaborough where we sell to live exports and the meat abattoirs. And at the moment we're implementing different programs to help benefit our businesses.
I grew up on our family property at Georgetown. I done primary education through distance school before going away to boarding school in Charters Towers. And I've since returned back into the industry. My partner and I work for a contract mustering team here in the Gulf, and we work on a few Stanbroke places, and we're based in Georgetown over the wet helping mum and dad out.
And Greg, could you tell us a little bit about your operation, please?
Yeah, Alison, we run about 3,000 LSU on 65,000 acres just southwest of Georgetown, mainly a breeder herd, but we grow our steers to about 380, 400 kilos, and then they go on to export, live export or a feedlot industry.
I grew up, I'm 4th generation beef cattle. I think we've had beef cattle for 80 years, originating back to central Queensland. We now run about 9,000 head, 8,500, 9,000 head of branded cattle in the Richmond, Julia Creek areas. So we're breeding and backgrounding predominantly, Alison, and family run business. Over 200,000 acres.
What have you done to help improve your skills and knowledge in the industry?
So by attending the Next Generation Mentoring Program, we've been able to attend workshops, access online information, have access to mentors, and it's very tailored to our needs for our business.
Well, Alison, I think what Melinda's done has been great. She's got away from home and worked on a property that's of a larger scale. But in doing that, she's sort of picked up skills that the current generation have used and been successfully using for a number of years. But I think as a younger person, she really has to look at how the industry will evolve and position herself sort of to take advantage of those required skills.
So January this year I was still completing my uni. I actually finished it in July. But I started with the DAF Young Mentees program, which was really important for our business, and it sort of encompassed the theoretical and the practical sides of the business. So we you go through everything there from the financial side to the actual practical stuff of feeding cattle, and then through to cost benefit analysis of new projects and stuff like that.
How would you like to see the Next Gen program develop?
I would like to see the next generation mentoring program developed into a more permanent fixture, and be open to new applicants each year. And I would like to see it as a must for new young generation beef producers to be able to attend.
I think it's really important to keep the network going and keep helping each other out. So maybe through a few different communication channels we could all keep in touch, past and present of the mentees.
In the future, that the like-minded people continue it and put some effort into, even if it's only one or a representative from each family business coming together. To keep that program going, we've got a lot of challenges in the industry, as always, and it's also very useful, as we found out probably with the live export ban, that there wasn't really a unified front there ready to talk to the government straight away about those sorts of things. So we've got a next gen program that it's sort of a unified front, and it should be a group where if someone's got an issue, there's probably the guy next to them might have the solution to it. They just don't know.
And Joe has been part of DAF now for 27 years or so. Would you like to just tell me a bit about your role in DAF and how you became involved in the DAF Next Gen program?
Yeah, our role over probably many years has been helping grazing businesses be, I guess, firstly more sustainable along the lines of grazing land management, and more recently that's involved into our whole of business program, and we've taken that from a lot of businesses that we work with and the older generation to now focusing on a lot of the next generation coming through and the younger people. Basically still the same whole of business approach, but we see that it's critical to help mentor this young generation, and they're going to be the future of the industry.